Welcome back to my mental health and crime channel. My name is Huda London. Please like, share, and subscribe. I'm a licensed cognitive behavior therapist. That's a CBT therapist and a licensed mental health counselor. Please like, share, and subscribe if you enjoy the contents in this channel. I like to start by saying that this is for entertainment purpose only. This is the case, a tragic case, a heartbreaking case of a 5-year-old girl whose name was Summer Moon Utewells. Summer was reported missing from Hawkins County, Tennessee on the 15th of June, 2021. In a couple of days, it's going to be 2 years exactly since Summer was reported missing. It is heartbreaking. Her parents, Don Wells and Candice Wells, called 911, or to be specific, the mother, Candice Bly Wells, called the police, the 999 operator, and she said that she went for a walk and she came back and Summer was nowhere to be found. We heard that on the radio operator, the 999 radio call. The parents, Don Wells and Candice Bly, have always said this was abduction, but there was no evidence, no signs to prove that their evidence of an abduction has ever happened. The father even told us and tried to convince us up to today that there was a dog trail left that showed Summer. The canine dogs caught the scent of Summer. That is completely possible. But that is not something that he can point out as evidence, because Summer and her 3 brothers, all under the age of 13, live in the house. So this is a typical line of excuse that Donna Wells is trying to get away with, I believe. I was following this case when the endangerment alert of Summer Moon Utewells first appeared. And that was exactly on the 15th of June at 6:30. The sheriff, Ronnie Lawson, and his officers, rescue teams, a helicopter went all up the hill because they live up in a hill in Ben Hill. They went there and they tried to get answers and search for Summer. Summer was nowhere to be seen. So Summer was nowhere to be seen. The search continued. The search continued at least for a good 2 weeks. Nothing happened. Summer wasn't found. The neighbor, Jody Sue Brown, said that she clearly heard noises. She heard a slamming of the car door. She believes this was around 4:42. But then again, the sheriff does not believe whatever Jody Sue Brown said she thinks she saw or heard is related to Summer's abduction. Furthermore, the sheriff doesn't even believe abduction happened, like us, most of us. The parents took 13 days exactly, the mother, to do an interview. And I would consider that very concerning. The father did a very short interview, a couple of days later, and the first thing he said was that we will see Summer in the resurrection. So if that isn't a red flag, I don't know what else is a red flag. The property's right up on the hill. Nobody has seen or heard screams or yellings or anything of abduction sort of thing happening except Jody Sue Brown hearing those strange noises. The father, Donald Wells, has a lengthy criminal history. He has sex offenses and he has other things in his life. The sheriff never believed about the abduction theory, no matter what. The Tennessee Bureau of Investigation, the TBI, was called to the search. They did a thorough search, and there was no sign of summer moon YouTubers. The father was arrested at the end of October, I believe the 31st of October, for drinking and driving. Drinking under the influence, DUI. He went in for 13 months. And the mother did not even go and visit her 3 sons who the CPS took and put under gag order. She went once or twice, and I remember her clearly saying in one of her interviews, not her interviews on YouTube, on one of the YouTube panels, the day she was in a hotel, she said clearly that I'm getting tired of going and visiting them. She said she's getting tired of going to therapy because that was one of the conditions for her to go visit her sons. The language of the parents hasn't changed. The father's come out, the mother and the father always drunk. Now they're pretending to be sober, trigger warning. But this has everything related to this case. It is so sad and it's so heartbreaking because this little girl has still not got her justice and she hasn't been found, and it's 2 years. A huge search was conducted for Summer. I believe 46 agents nearby and the FBI, all of them were involved in the search, but Summer was never found. We have even seen the mother, Candice Bly, kind of owning up to a guilt that it had something to do with drinking, because she came on TV and she said, she came on a panel on YouTube and she was really intoxicated and she said, I will never hurt my children or harm my children. I promise never to drink or hurt my children ever again, because Summer and the boys are the love of my life. That was what she said. I know some people will say, why are you writing down something from someone who is intoxicated, but not necessary, because this couple never seemed to be sober to start with, so it's really hard analyzing them. And even when they're sober, nothing seems to make sense. Summer was under their responsibility. They were the parents of Summer. They're the ones that are responsible of Summer. They're the ones who are supposed to be protecting Summer and keeping her safe. People just don't vanish. Truth in there. Especially a child. A child is dependent on her mother and father, her brothers, her family, her grandmother. They all were in the house. How come only Summer disappeared? How come it was only Summer Moon who disappeared? How could nobody else disappear besides Summer? That's questions we need to ask. We've heard before that Candice has never wanted to have a girl. Candice has 2 other children. She has a daughter who's, I believe, who was 17 years old when Summer went missing, so she's 19 now. And a son who is 1 year older than the daughter, I believe. Both these children was taken by the CPS when they were kids. Candice was now with Don Wells. She was married to another guy and she was only 19 and he was 40. I believe she's 20 and he was 40. There's a 20-year gap, and I don't know what the real story was, but it seemed like he was really on addictions and she was too young to look after children and she started an addiction. So Rosemary, this is interesting because Rosemary is Candice's sister, Summer's aunt, who went missing too in 2009 and who's on the FBI's most wanted, is on the missing list since 2009. So this is not the first missing person in this family. This is the second missing person. We've heard all the interviews, but let's summarize and come back to the main things. When someone was reported missing and the police came to do the search, David Dodson was the first person who actually came to the scene after the police, because the family was trying to call Mrs. Robin Lane from the church, and they couldn't get a hold of her, so they called David Dodson. When David Dodson came to the scene, he said he spoke to Summers' brothers, and Summers' brothers clearly told David Dodson that no, the basement door was locked, so Summer couldn't have gone out of the basement door. So what is it here that we're missing? If the basement door was locked, she couldn't have gotten out of the basement door. And in the Amber Alert of the TBI, it is something that the parents have given the information to the TBI, Tennessee Bureau of Investigation. The Tennessee Bureau of Investigation said Summer was last seen outside a house in Ben Hill Road. So which one was it? Did Candace go for a walk like she told the 911 operator? Or did Candace just shake Summer somewhere else, because she was twice away from her house. She was driving off. So how come nobody's talking? It's just like the Nicola Bulley case. People know what happened, timelines have been changed, witnesses are not coming forth, they're not being honest, they're not being genuine of what they saw. And we have Jody Sue Brown telling us that there was a dispute about the property lines, just one day before Summer went missing. We even saw how Donald Wells was behaving towards Dudley Arjun, the guy he works with, 2 weeks ago on Cher's panel. I don't think Dudley Arjun had anything to do with Summer's disappearance. This has something to do with the parents, and they know it. Human trafficking was always high in the last couple of years in Tennessee. This goes more into the foul play direction. There wasn't any abduction that happened unless the parents sold Summer, allegedly, or gave away free willingly, or like the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation asked Don. Don said that on the behavior panel. The questions that they asked me was, did you owe anyone any drug debts? So what happened to Summer Wells? Did they sell Summer Wells? Did an accident happen? Because we saw the state of the steps down to the basement. We all were shocked by that. So what happened that day? Did the boys by mistake, or like fooling around, did they push Summer down the steps? Because we've heard that one at the start. We've heard people in Tennessee saying that. So was there an accident that happened? Or did the accident happen in the swimming hole? Was there a dry drowning, secondary drowning? Because Summer did not look that healthy and well. Where's the red car? There was a red car that was allegedly seen on the 14th. What if Summer was actually abducted on the 14th and not the 15th? Hunter said he was dropped off home, Hunter said he was dropped home at 2:30. We don't know. The TBI hasn't told us. What if Hunter actually went with Candace somewhere and hit Summer? Where was the grandmother? Was she really sleeping like she said when Summer went missing? How come only one child was abducted that summer while the three brothers were sitting upstairs? The abductor would have had to pass the three boys to go downstairs and pick up Summer. And the basement door was closed downstairs. It was locked. There was a sofa on it. There was a sofa pushed towards the door so that the children wouldn't have access to open it. We've heard that from Jose, may God rest his soul, We've heard that from Allison, we've heard that from Hunter, we've heard that from many people. So why are Candice and Dawn lying? What happened to poor Summer? Did they take her somewhere and hide her because the CPS was coming? Because there was a case on them? Could what's her name, Candice Bly, have had contact with the previous people in her life that are the people she used to work with, caravans in Arkansas and different places? Could Candice have actually, think about that, could Candice have asked them to help her after accident like secondary drowning could have happened? Allegedly. It's going to be 2 years. I don't want this case to become a cold case. Summer Moon U2Ls deserves her justice. Even if the brothers accidentally did something to Summer, we're entitled to know because the whole world is invested on Summer Moon U2L's case. We know it is foul play. The parents have disrespected Summer. Live on panels, on TVs, they walked away. Candice walked away from the Dr. Phil show as soon as she heard the word the cornbread mafias. The cornbread mafias had nothing to do with her unless she was working with them because they were planting drugs, obviously, and doing it in their farm, pretending that they were selling, they were planting corn or something like that. So why did she automatically jump and start crying and all like she knows John Boone? They didn't expect it to become so famous, this case to become so popular that the world's attention would be on this case, just like the Nicola Bulley case. They didn't expect social media, the public, and the world to get an eye on the case. And that is where justice comes in. Justice has to be served for these poor souls. Whether they're dead, whether they're alive, hidden, the truth has to come out. We can see, you never see Candice Bly up to today in each and every panel. You never see her either coming to the panels to talk, and if she talks, it's always Dawn who's the piece of mouth. I've always said that from day one. I've been watching it for 2 years, and that is kind of concerning because it seems like Dawn is the one writing the script and all of the others are following the script. I like the way Dawn pretends that like he doesn't know Jodie Sue Brown. It's classic. And Jodie Sue Brown pretends she doesn't know him either. They all are in the script together. That's what I personally believe, and it's clear to see. It's just like the Nicola Bulley case. You can see that this is some kind of group thing, that there are more people involved. And the strange thing with Summer's case is the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation are always involved in serious cases like foul play and human trafficking, crime organization crimes, and fraudsters, fraud organization crimes, different things like that, like serious crimes. And the thing that reminds me of Summer's case and Nicola's is similar is because the timelines are both being disrupted with. Both of them, everything has been tampered. Witnesses are no longer witnesses. Just like Summer and Nicholas, same things are happening. Everyone's acting fishy and dodgy. It's so sad because it's close to 2 years and nothing has come out. That case is one strange case. Nobody's talking. The mother's not searching. Just like Nicola's case, Paul is not searching. He was not searching, I mean. But in Summer's case, it's different to Nicola's, is because Summer's never been found. That is really sad and disturbing. I pray, honestly, every day for all the victims and everyone. But I pray a lot for Summer. Because a kid like that didn't deserve this injustice. And so many people are to blame because the CPS knew about this family. They should have done something immediately. It's just like Orrin and Orson West. You can't watch something because you know it's like you can see disaster coming along. You can see a hurricane coming through and it's going to blow off your house. Are you going to sit there and just wait in the house, or are you going to do something? Are you going to prevent it happening? It was so easy to see that. I can't even say luckily because it's so unfortunately, but luckily one child was missing and not all four children. It's a shame. Candice's previous children, the boy who's 20 years old now, is so badly disabled, God forbid. Not God forbids, may God bless him, because Candice, the boy's father, Candice's ex-husband, beat him so badly and put him in that situation. So once you have Candice involved in a case like that, how dare does the CPS let Candice continue raising these four small kids? It doesn't help that they're coming in the picture now and putting her in a gag order. Where was the gag order when it was needed at the start? Summer could have been saved. Summer wouldn't have been in this situation. No child has the right to be put in such an endangerment situation. These parents need to be arrested for child neglection, child abuse, and child endangerment, child abuse, child neglection. It's really heartbreaking. I hope Tennessee Bureau of Investigation has some good news for us this year. Please like, share, and subscribe. Guys, pray for Summer. Pray for Summer. And I'm praying we get justice for Nicola. The 26th is not far from today. Hopefully. Have a lovely day. I need to take my allergic eye drops, my medicines, and I need to, go off. I need a cup of coffee. I just need to go out and do a few things. But I hope you'll have a lovely, lovely day. I hope that justice is served for all the victims everywhere in the world. And it's important, as a mental health counselor, I would love to tell everyone to take care of your mental health. Take time for yourself. That's what I was actually thinking of doing, going for a walk. But I don't know, with the flu that I'm having and the headache, it's like I can't even keep my complete focus, if that makes sense. It's just like since I went to sleep actually last night, I've been having this severe headache. And then since I got up this morning, I've been just sneezing and sneezing and sneezing, and I can even notice it in my voice. But hopefully I should get better. I just need to take my medications, maybe go out for a walk, see if I can get things done. If not, just come home and sleep it off. But I can see it's getting to me. It's just a flu. Started with my with my youngest child. He's not even that young, he's 18 now, so he got a flu and he was sneezing and all that all week. And then plus I have this pollen allergy that isn't doing much better either. So I need to take that medication too. But guys, I'll speak to you all soon. I just hope we get justice for Summer. I hope we get justice for Nicola Bulley. I hope we get justice for all these souls that are lingering along, that deserve the justice that they should have got from the start. Because certain things, when you see, doesn't make sense. I wish there was a law that said you can arrest them all if you know. I know that's not fair. People have to be proven guilty to be arrested, but there should have been some way to shake them up and get the truth out of them. And it's sad for people who are sitting with information that could have helped to get justice for all these innocent souls. Like Orrin and Orson's case, somebody knows where the bodies are hidden. Trigger warning. Somebody knows where Summer's hidden, whether she's dead or alive. Trigger warning. Somebody knows what happened exactly to Nicola Bulley. There's always somebody sitting with information, and those people should do what is right. Do what is right. Imagine if it was your loved one. People need a closure. Please, guys, like, share, and subscribe. And please do not forget to subscribe to my other channel. It's called the new channel. Please help me with subscribers. It's called Hoodoo London. Instead of mental health and crime, it's called psychology and crime. Please subscribe. I'll start uploading soon there. I'm having a lot of other issues going on with this channel because of community strikes on YouTube. And it's just strange. It seems like somebody just doesn't want me to work on this Nicola Bulley case. I've been noticing as soon as I've started this case, every issue is going on with YouTube. But then I would love to anyway. It's just so sad because it's been like 16. I'm on my 17th month working hard for that channel. I've always been investing hard. But it's not even copyright strikes from the mainstream news channels like GB News and all. That's all right, actually. Because, and I do use, it's like fair use purpose. I'm not using it to insult or criticize people. But it's just that I know who it is, I believe. It's just these YouTube creators out for no good. But anyway, because I even got strike just now on 2 clips that I was just watching, I had to take it off, and it was nothing to do with the mainstream news media, because I was talking on that. And I just can't be bothered. I just took it off because I am having it with this case and with people who are working on this case, the YouTube creators trying to bully other people out of this case. But I ain't going anywhere. I'll continue making my own contents, and I'll continue being here on my other channel, if not this channel. So please subscribe to that channel too, because if I can, it's not like, I don't know how to explain. It's just an issue that I got a warning for community strike, so I don't know yet who is doing this, but it doesn't matter. But anyway, guys, I love y'all. I really love y'all for being always so polite and kind on our comment channel, and please keep it that way, because sometimes they're new people, they forget themselves and use words that YouTube doesn't allow, and that is the reason people get community strikes. But there are some other people just trying to get me off Nicola Bulley's case, because I can see that. That's one of the reasons I haven't been making a lot of clips these days. I'm actually on that dispute. I'm trying to find out. I'm waiting for an answer from YouTube, and hopefully they're reasonable in that. But I intend to do more of mental health, like anxiety, depression, DVs, being victims of DV, advice from the mental health side, what you should do and what you should try to avoid doing, so that you have a healthier decision making, you do better critical thinking, that you invest on a better physical and mental health, which is the most important thing actually. So I thought of doing that. Remember, it's called Hoodoo London, like it's written here, mental health and crime. Over there it's written Hoodoo London, psychology and crime. It's quite new, so I keep on forgetting myself. But then now, I'm going to start working on that, and I'm going to talk to YouTube and find out, because even the person who's giving me this copy strike warning or whatever isn't sending the valid complaint. So this is my own clip that I got just now for. So that's kind of strange. And it's not always justice around here, I've noticed. I won't lie, it's hard being, I don't know how to explain, but it is the truth. I've kept that in for maybe been 4 years on YouTube, being a content creator for the last 17 months, 18 months, but that's my cat. But to be honest, as a YouTube creator, I've noticed it says a lot when you're a colored person. It does. Oh, because even just to get a certain kind of subscribers. I believe most of the people, the public on YouTube, honestly, I'll be honest today, um, are quite fair. All of your subscribers and viewers, you're quite fair. But then there are some people that just wait for you to flop or do something wrong so they can just target your channel or troll your channel or not. And I've seen that many times, but it's not like it's going to keep me down because I'm here for a good intention. I'm here to help people with mental health. I'm here to give advices as much as I can. I'm here from learning from your. Honestly, I learned so much from all the people on my comments, all my subscribers. I respect you all dearly. Even if you don't share the same opinions, we have so much. Everyone on my channel, I really mean it. Everyone who leaves a comment, it's like a light bulb goes into my head. I think, wow, I never thought of that way. It's like I learned so much from you. I learned so much from my subscribers from America. Honestly, I love y'all dearly because y'all have been with me from here from day one. From the first subscriber I have, y'all know who y'all are. Y'all have always been there. And my subscribers in the UK, I love y'all. Y'all are my people, y'all are my UK people. We live here together. Share the same air, we breathe the same air, drink the same water. But my subscribers in America have helped me through thick and thin. But then I've noticed there's so many judgmental people. Like, you could be saying something and somebody could take it completely in a total different direction. And then you think, like, at times, should I continue? But I always try to be mindful and keep my boundaries because the internet, I believe, is just like a transparent curtain between people. We don't know each other. Y'all know me because you'll see me on YouTube. I know y'all through talking to y'all in the comment session. But honestly, I believe what I see is what I get from y'all, and what you'll see from me is mostly what you'll get, honestly. Of course, we're human beings. We can have bad moods, good moods. We could be wrong, we could be right. Nobody's here. We all are armchair detectives. Nobody's here because we know more than somebody else. We're here to learn from each other. And we're here for the same purpose. That is getting justice for the victims. Whether it's Summer Wells, whether it's Nicola Bulley, whether it's Orrin and Orson West. One case that always sticks with me, and I always think of it quite often, is the Suzanne Morphew case. I can't believe that Barry Morphew got away. Hi, Barry. Whatever you did, Barry, you're going to be answering one day. It's just sad that the evidence and everything was tampered with. That is what kind of actually Paul reminds me of, Barry Morphew. Barry had no empathy when he was talking. He didn't mention Suzanne. In fact, Barry Morphew mentioned Suzanne more than Paul mentioned Nicola. Think about it. Yeah, I don't know why I came up with that. But you think your mind goes different places when you think about true crime. Maya Millete is another case. Very sad. But then at least they got a husband down. So that is good. I hope Nicola and Summer get their justice, and I hope Orrin and Orson's human remains are found. I hope closure happens for the family. It's sad, it's really sad. And I hope that CPS change. Honestly. I know they're under budgeted too, they're not well paid, and they're stressing with so many hours and little people, not many workers. They're overburdened, overwhelmed, and that's not good in mental health for them either. So I respect them. But the government should put in more resources, more fundings. Even in mental health. Mental health is what is lacking in the world. It's still not enough. We're getting to know more about mental health and we're spreading awareness, but it's not enough. It shouldn't be a taboo. You see that clearly from Nicola Bulley's case. Although it was only Penny roaming around with that part of breaching people's confidentiality there, that's another thing we should learn about. Penny Bunny needs to learn boundaries. People may say, why are you talking about Penny? But it is the truth. Penny and Grizzly True Crime have really upset me in Nicola Bulley's case. They have crossed every boundary. You can say even Curtis too. What is Curtis's point by going there? But everyone has their own way. I enjoy watching his videos. He makes nice videos, but when you think about it, this is about counseling. Have boundaries. The families have suffered enough. We don't know if Paul is guilty. We don't know if Emma's innocent. We don't know if Emma's guilty or Paul is innocent. We don't know if they both are innocent. But that's the reason an inquest is going on. I'm starting to actually wonder. I'll be honest, today I'm putting it out there. I really don't care. What is up with Curtis and the police? Does Curtis have some business in Lancashire? And it doesn't make sense, Lancashire. Why would you give someone probation, not giving them bail not to come to the place, and now all of a sudden you revoke it when it's not even 26 June? Something is not right. Many people honestly need to be checked in this case. Many people. Let's start with the psychic. Where's your dog, psychic? I know we're talking about Summer Wells here, but actually I'll make this title about Summer and Nicola, because I have so much to say about that case too. We're watching things that we're supposed to be taking like nothing happened. A psychic dog walker found Nicola Bulley on a walk. That's what we heard. No dog. Dog walker. You're walking a dog. He was walking his mother, he was walking with his mother. What a coincidence that he came all the way, and I don't even want to talk about his background, but he came all the way from wherever he came just to find Nicola Bulley. And guess what? Peter Fielding couldn't find him with his sword out that costs thousands and thousands, with his 20 years experience. Think about that. The police divers couldn't find Nicola. The river was tidal. But a psychic came all the way and found him. Bam. Who's supposed to be a dog walker without a dog. Then you see the police standing near the psychic. You see them smiling, I won't lie. Laughing. I don't know what's going on there. Was it Nicola they were pulling out of the water? What were they pulling out? We don't know. Would we ever know? I don't think so. Something isn't right in this case. Look at the location Nicola was found. I always told you to pay attention to the opposite location. That is where the crime scene should have been. Somebody came from that direction of Garstin Road. And we know who exactly lives in the woods. This is for entertainment purpose only, so don't come for me. We're not blind, we're not deaf, but I'm a bit surprised, a bit curious, a bit concerned about two people. The psychic and Curtis Media. Very strange things are going on in this case. Very strange things. I know he's a YouTuber like me. You could just be here for subscribers. I really do believe that. But it can't be a coincidence that you're running into the police every time. Why did they revoke your bail? Things are not right in this case. As for Heather, you wrote on your Facebook that Nicola was reported missing at 9:15. You wrote, in fact, 9:10. One poster you wrote 9:10, one poster you wrote 9:15. Which one was it? Who told you to be the organizer of the search? The reason I asked, I think it's beautiful. That's your friend you should be searching for. But who made you in charge? Was it the police? So who gave you the information is what I want to know, Heather. You organizing the searches? Emma was helping you? So what were you told by the police? Were you the one who had the police to write those posters that are on the tree saying that Nicola was missing from a home in Inskip? I just have questions if you could answer me kindly. Why was your hair so light that day? You colored it very light. Why wasn't the empathy showing on your face? Why were you giggling or laughing? In many interviews, why did you have bruises on your eyes, above your eye? Why were you wearing extra load of makeup to hide something? All these questions have to be answered one day. And people may think that I'm actually being direct or harassing. No, I'm just saying what I see. It's been 5 months now. In fact, some other creators are saying worse than me. I'm not like Penny. I ain't going into anyone's medical records. But I'm saying what I see. What I see is not right. Paul did not like him look right in the interview. His breathing told a lot. He was breathing from each and every place he could breathe. From his stomach muscles was working hard. He looked like he was thinking while he was saying the things he was going to say. He was looking at Dan to see if Dan was convinced by what he just said. He gave a lot of red flags in his interviews. He said a lot of things like she could be late, Nicola could be late, she could be talking to Emma or someone in the park. Then he just looked on the side. When he said Emma, he put his hand out there like Emma was sitting right next to him. You could see even, I don't know, I'm not a dog behavior expert, but Willow didn't look very comfortable with Paul. In fact, he was going and sitting next to the reporter, Dan. I don't think I honestly wonder what is the connection between Willow and Paul. And I don't think there's any real close connection. I think it's Nicola and Paul. Nicola and I think Willow was Nicola's dog. I heard the parents have the dog now. I even heard the parents gave Nicola the dog as a gift. But I hope the dog is where he's loved most. Because it's really sad and traumatizing what he must have gone through. Not that Nicola falling in the river, which she didn't, but Nicola being abducted, I believe, allegedly. It's really sad. Those little girls, poor girls, will have to grow up without their mother. On the other hand, Summer Moon YouTubers, his brothers, may know everything that happened to Summer, but they can't talk. It's just sad. So I hope both these cases are in June, and then you have the Idaho murders, you have Brian Kohlberger's case going on, and that is horrible, terrifying, what he did to those students. And I'll be talking about him soon too, whether I like to cover it or not. I already started covering that case when it happened, so I believe I have to just go back and touch a bit on it. Serial killers is actually, honestly, something to do with therapy and all. So in psychology and mental health, of course, we deal with serial killers, and we're supposed to be in future dealing with them, but not serial killers, but antisocial personality disorder. Different kind of personality disorders can have a play to do with serial killers, but then it's just that it's one of those topics. It doesn't scare me. It just makes me, like, if I start talking about them or doing anything, any cases about serial killers, it takes a lot of investigation. You have to go really deep. You have to think like a criminologist. You have to go in deep into the psychological state, which is my branch, so I don't have a problem with that. But just going into that, it does make you as a human being. It changes you as a human being. It changes you. It makes you more, not only upset, yeah, angry. Like, how can people get away with that? Bitter. It makes you more negative. You get caught up in those dark thoughts, like how could they even do this or think that way? So I don't like to touch much on that case, but I find that very interesting that Dylan, the roommate, saw Brian Kober and he didn't touch her. That's why I always said it was something more deeper, more cynical, more. There was something more vicious with the whole thing that was going on. I personally believe that Bethany and Dylan knew more than they were telling. That's why they didn't want to come to court. That's why the interviews was done separately in a different location and not in the court. But I'm telling you, it's never happened that somebody who just a serial killer who just or double quadruple murder killer who just saw you in the eye, just passed you by and didn't bother to touch you. And he knows you're the witness, last witness standing. And I don't believe for a second that Bethany did not hear what was going on in the house. It could have all been prevented. This was a tragedy. But I'll never forget what the taxi driver who drove the two girls, what were the names? Kaylee Congalvis and her best friend Maddie Morgan. When he drove them home, he told the police, and it was out on the news, that he said that I've drove many people to King's Road, where the murders happened, to purchase drugs. So don't forget that. So there was something going on with that house that people are not touching on. I hope it comes out more detailed in the court, but I don't know. I think they're going to leave that part out, but I'm telling you. He said he drove many people to that house in King's Road to purchase drugs. So somebody was selling, somebody was a dealer in that house. Whether it was Dylan or whether the girls, God forbid, maybe Kaylee or and Maddie, were helping someone or looking after someone's stuff for them. I always thought of that at once at the start, because let's not forget, you. That's why I always look into a person, how much profile studies I can get of them in their previous life. Never ever forget what happened in your previous life. Although you have been rehabilitated, you can go back into it quickly. It's just like addictions. So look at it this way: when this guy, what's his name, Brian Koberger, a couple of years ago, 5 years, he was doing heavy. Trigger warning. So what makes us believe that he just went back to his studies, cleaned up, and went on? Yes, he did, but then you can relapse anytime. He relapsed. That house was a party house. He understood he could get access to drugs there, and I'm sure he had somebody else working, helping him out. Somebody let him have access. It's impossible that the two girls and the two remaining roommates did not hear anything. We don't even know if there were other people in the house. Have you ever thought of that? Dylan could have had a partner in a room. We wouldn't know, because the police were not called till 12 o'clock next day. Let's not forget, 11:30 next day. I wonder how much Brian Koberger will be allowed to talk. I wonder how much will be the truth he'd tell, because the sad thing is nobody's going to believe him. I believe there were more people involved. And ending on the final note, coming back to Summer Moon YouTube Wells' case, I believe that the parents know exactly what happened to Summer. They know exactly what happened to their precious daughter. Whether it was an accident with Hunter, Hunter himself is a victim, let's not forget. Because he was 15 years old when this happened. He's 17 years old now, he's still a minor. So Candice was busy giving alcohol to a minor, giving vapes to a minor, weed possibly to a minor, drugs. We don't know what was going on. We don't even know if the grandmother was with them on that trip to the swimming hole. Who goes around planting cactus? It's all a lie. Jodie Sue Brown knows a lot too, although she's not telling. Just like in Brian Koberger's case, Dylan Mortensen, There was a lot. She saw him in the eyes, he saw her blank in the eyes, and he didn't do anything. Bethany's heard noises, they all are pretending. And in Nicola Bulley's case, Emma's laughing, giggling, Paul is giggling, laughing. Nicola's friends look like they know more than they're saying. At least Charlotte said it's astonishing that somebody could fall in the river. People have been falling in the river every day. Timelines are changed in all these cases, locations are changed. Just like Orrin and Orson's case, Giselle changed all the timelinings. They killed the children, trigger warning. They harmed the children way back in September, or between the period of September to December, but they reported them missing on the 21st of December. So pay attention, all these things are on purpose. Timelines are changed on purpose. That's only the mind of a criminal. You have to look at it in the psychological way. These people are doing things deliberately, and most of these things are premeditated, I believe. Sometimes harm happens and killings happen in just a matter of seconds. It can just be a sudden thing without a person planning it, but mostly it's pre-planned. People have feelings and things, energy running high and all that, and then somebody just wants somebody gone. And that's what I wonder in Nicola Bulley's case. Was she silenced? Was Nicola silenced? Did Nicola have some information that of someone having an affair, or maybe her partner having an affair? Did Nicola have information that somebody was doing money laundry or something? That's what I believe. Because she was in that position. She was a mortgage advisory. She was advising and selling mortgage insurance and life insurance. So it's very possible. Why would it be impossible? And there's no evidence to point any way, so we don't know what could have actually happened. But I believe whatever happened to Nicola started from the 10th of January. She was made to look like she was unstable. If Nicola was unstable, she wouldn't be allowed to drive the children to school. What happened after we saw that footage? Nicola didn't drive off. Something could have happened. They could have fought. It's really sad, really heartbreaking. I hope we get justice for Nicola Bulley. I hope we get justice for Summer Wells. I hope we get the bodies of Orrin and Orson so that the family can get closure. And I hope the human remains of Suzanne Morphew is found so that justice can be served there too. I hope the human remains of Millete is found too. All these people deserve justice. All these families are grieving in pain. And then there's some families like Paul who are not even searching for his loved one. Their families like Dawn Wells and Candice Well up to no good and not even searching for Summer Wells. But they're making a nuisance of themselves. It's really sad. Anyway, guys, please have a lovely week. Have a lovely Monday. Look after yourselves. And I hope you get further updates. Please, guys, do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. It helps for awareness purpose. I am making money out of YouTube. And guys, please do me a favor. Like, share, and subscribe to the other channel, which may end up being my main channel. Before I disappear and you don't find me, it's Huda London Psychology and Crime. It'll take a bit of time, but I need to start building up that channel too. So please like, share, and subscribe. It will be doing me a huge favor. Take care, guys. Have a lovely week. And justice for Summer, Nicola Bulley, Orrin and Orson, Suzanne Morphew, and Maya Millete, all of them. And I pray justice is served for them. And I hope someone's found. And the boys in California City. Please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you. Bye.